So, Ealing Trailfinders 21, Leicester Tigers 29, into our first Premiership Cup final since 2017. And boy, was it tough. It was a really tough game. Ealing, credit to them. We all know that they've been dominating the Championship for a good few years now. They're practically a Premiership side, really. Plenty of Premiership experience, few internationals in there. Yeah, it's a very decent squad. They're just a really good team. They gave us a right old fright for large parts of that. Obviously scoring that try near the end as well to make it a 1 point game. They probably should have won, to be honest. I think 3 times they knocked the ball on inside our 22. I think Billy Twelvetrees missed 2 or 3 kicks off the tee. But I think we just had that probably Premiership experience, killer instinct. We've had a lot of tight games this year, and I think that helped us get the victory right at the death with Matt Scott's try. But yeah, it wasn't a brilliant performance, but end of the day, we're in a Premiership Cup final, knockout rugby. It's just about winning the game, isn't it? Doesn't matter how you play, we're in the final in 3 weeks' time. Onto the game itself, it was a very poor start. I think the fact we hadn't played in it, nearly a month, really affected us. I think a few times this season, off the back of a break, we've looked really poor in that first game. And yeah, the first 20 minutes were dreadful, really. Ealing came out of the blocks hard. I think we conceded early scrum penalties. I think maybe the first one of the game was only a couple of minutes in, and we got absolutely dominated, which obviously was a bit worrying. That was the way it was going, but those 3... the 2 props and the hooker for Ealing, all 3 Premiership quality. No idea how Goodrick Clark and Allo were playing in the Championship. You thought one Premiership team somewhere in France would be, licking their lips over those 2. But yeah, so a few scrum penalties. The second one led to their first points, 12 trees off the tee. There's a few lineouts were stolen by them as well. But they had some good pressure on the line, on our line, Ealing did, and it took a really good intervention from Matt Scott, noticing they had a few men out wide, and then I think it maybe intercepted blocking the pass, and I think they had advantage of time. They went back to 3 points off the tee, Billy Twelvetrees making it 6-0, but if they'd scored there 10-0, it could have been a different game. But yeah, credit to Matt Scott there, and credit to our defence on the line. I think it was very good. But yeah, and then big moment, I think there was 2 major moments of the game that decided the outcome. The first one was Devi getting a yellow card, something that you probably wouldn't get caught in the Championship with the TMO. You don't get away with things like that. Very cynical play, kicking the ball out of Whiteley's hand, yellow card. A few minutes later, Thokinasinger went over, really good line off the back of a maul, good physicality, good line, went over. Soon after, Twelvetrees missed a 3 off the tee. He was quite poor, as I've already said, missed a couple of shots off the tee. And then a few minutes later, Theobald Thomas, small try. Good patience, really good patience. It didn't get going straight away, but good sign that at his young age he's learning to be patient at the back of the maul, and then obviously once it gets forward he went straight over. So 2 tries when they're down to 14 men, that was absolutely massive for us. We had none of the momentum before the yellow, really, and then those 2 tries made a massive difference, obviously. Went into the half time at 6-12. First 20 minutes we were getting dominated across the park, but did well to stop the momentum. Yellow card obviously helped us with that, but to get those 2 good tries with them down to 14, that was really good, really clinical from us. Into the second half, it was quite a similar start to the second half as it was to the first. Ealing had the better of the opening 15-20 minutes. Richardson conceded an early penalty, 12trees knocked over the 3 points. I think then there was a couple of knock-ons from Ealing inside our 22. If either of those went to hand, could have been a real different story. But yeah, they looked really dangerous on the attack. And then Dan Richardson went off for a yellow card, another penalty conceded on his side of the scrum. Goodrick Clark had his number throughout the time he was on the field. And yeah, that man, Goodrick Clark, went over a couple of minutes later from close range. But we hit back with a good penalty from Shilcock. And then second big moment of the game, Phil Fockner reading a really, really good intercept. Their fullback had looked like he was attacking really threatening. I think they might even had a man over as well. So if he'd got that pass out, again, they could have scored. But really good read from Phil to take the intercept and go under the sticks. And then a few minutes later, another knock on, Ealing in our 22. But Willemse went over for Ealing's was his third try. A couple of minutes after that, some really good play from Ealing in attack. They look really, really good. A good break from Williams off I think it was line out. It was. 6 minutes left, 1 point in it. And then it looked like maybe they could eke out another scrum penalty. I think it was Mike Brown knock on after a high ball, which never really happens. But then Tim Hoyt, Jimmy Whitcomb, they were really, really solid. I think there was a couple of resets where we definitely were getting the nudge. That maybe put... it's a little bit difficult when your scrum's not getting go forward to have an attacking phase off that. And then third time, lucky, the ball did come out, but Sam Edwards, who literally just come on the field, brilliant read to take Billy Twelvetree's pass, intercepted, ran into 22. Obviously, could have maybe got all the way, but tackled by the ref almost. But then next phase, passed out. I think it was Carl Hathroll that gave on the pass to Matt Scott, who went under the sticks, and yeah, really, really relieved. It was tough. So ended to get the win. So Ealing 21, Tigers 29. It was, never in doubt, was it? No, Ealing are an absolute class side on the pitch. Loads of internationals, loads of Premiership quality. I think, as Austin said at the end, it's off the field they need to sort out. Was it just over 2,500? So it's quite disappointing. When we would have took a lot there, there's a lot of Tigers away fans on the pictures. On the field, Ealing definitely Premiership quality. It's just off the field they need to sort out all the bits and bobs to make that step up. But in terms of the performances, Ealing were very good, and as I've already said, they probably could have won. For us, the fact we haven't played in a few weeks really showed. Line out and scrum were very disappointing. But defence-wise, even though we did concede 21 points, I thought we had some really good moments because Ealing are a really threatening team in attack. And obviously just about had enough in the end to get over the line and get into the final. Onto the standouts, Finn Theobald-Thomas, I thought obviously took his try very well. Line out and scrum were a bit iffy, but it's tough to know how much that is down to him. But I thought he was very good, very busy. Hanro Liebenberg, again, another one, just very busy. Lots of involvements, lots of good carries, lots of good tackles. Just standard 8 out of 10 performance from Hanro. On his 100th appearance for Tigers, just, what a player, what a man, what a leader. Just, it's not far off before we say he's a Tigers legend. Hopefully we see him for a good few more years in a Tigers jersey. Tim Hoyt, as already said, had a really tough time coming off the bench. Obviously, Dan Richardson getting the yellow, 5-minute scrum on our own line. Don't think he conceded a penalty then, but then those 2-3 scrums on the 75th minute, him and Whitcomb were, really, really good. Hopefully we get to see him a bit more in a Tigers shirt over the next few years. Matt Scott, obviously making his first start on the wing, and he was very solid, had that big intervention in defence in the first half. Obviously took his try really well, really good line. He was really solid for his first start on the wing. But player of the match, it's got to be Phil Fockner. It's been a tough season for him, not getting many minutes at all. In fact, his first start since September, I've got written here. It's tough when you're not playing week on week. I don't believe he's been playing Championship rugby for Nottingham either. So he's been travelling reserve a lot, which must be really difficult mentally. But for me, he's arguably the most naturally gifted centre we have. Just carrying wise, very physical, good pace, got a good set of hands. There's a few moments in attack where he looked really, really good. Obviously, the two tries are brilliant. That second one, especially, huge intercepts and great reading in defence there. Yeah, he was very, very impressive. I think McKellar said in the post-match interview, it's the defence that maybe he kind of hinted at is why he's not getting as much game time, but I thought he was pretty solid in defence. Yeah, I thought he was definitely player of the match for me, Phil Fokanasiga. He was very good. So yeah, on to the final. Gloucester in 3 weeks' time. Away at Kingsholm on a Friday night. It's going to be super tough. Pretty much Gloucester will go full noise. Not really got much to play for in the Premiership. Not really affected by the Six Nations either. But yeah, it's going to be a really good opportunity to get our first silverware under McKellar. Who knows what sort of side we'll put out, but yeah, it's a chance of silverware. First season for McKellar. That's brilliant. It's brilliant. Always what we want to see as a Tigers supporter is ending the season with 1, 2, 3 bits of silverware. So yeah, on to the final in 3 weeks' time. Another break now. It's been a weird couple of months with the Six Nations having a break, but yeah, onto the final and then back into the end of the Premiership and the Champions Cup. So, see you in 3 weeks' time.